Now, for the first time in months, I have a job that's exclusively about photography, and my client wants a live feed of whatever it is my camera sees during the shoot. And that's called tethering. So I thought I'd make a quick video about it. Now, if you're a Sony shooter, you know that it's quite a pain to connect your Sony camera to Lightroom and use it remotely. At least it was until 1 or 2 years ago. But now it's quite straightforward, so let's get right into it. Now, the first thing you'll need is a USB-C cable, and you don't need any USB-C cable, but one that's also there for transferring data, not just for power supply. And those come at different speeds. But as long as you pick one which says something like 4K or 8K video in the product description, and sometimes it also says it on the cable itself, then you should be good to go. Now keep in mind that you want a longer cable because you want to be able to move around freely on set. However, with normal cables, meaning copper cables, there are certain length restrictions, because after about 10 meters, the signal is just too weak. There are options for longer USB-C cables which can transfer data, like 15 meters or 20 meters and above, but those are fiber optic cables, which means they are much more pricey. Anyways, let's assume you found the right cable for the job. For example, this one is 6 meters long and it does its job perfectly. Then the next thing you'll need is a proper camera that's not from the Stone Age, because Lightroom only supports newer camera models. I'll show a list down here so you can see which Sony camera models are currently supported. So when you connect your camera to your computer using the USB-C cable, you'll be presented with the following message on your camera display. Here you'll choose Remote Shooting. Next up, the Remote Shoot settings. Here I always choose to store the photos on my camera itself and at the destination, meaning my computer. This way I always have a backup. And for the save image size, I choose Original, which means that the photos that are getting transferred won't be compressed. On your computer, you'll then open Lightroom Classic, not the new kind of Lightroom no one wants to use, and then go to File, Tethered Capture, Start Tethered Capture. First things first, define a session name. I either use the name of the client or the project or just the current date, because Lightroom will automatically create a folder where it will store all your images inside, and this folder will have the exact name of the session. And that's it, you're connected. You'll see this little HUD where you can select live in order to see a live feed, and you can change some basic camera settings like aperture, shutter speed and ISO, and even the white balance. And what I think is most handy is that you can select a certain preset, which will be applied to every single one of your photos you shoot during the session. And that means your client will be presented with a previs of what the final edited photo will look like. And that's quite handy. That's it for me today. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.